All right, so this is a brand new podcast. We're calling it the Bartender Journey, and it's for people who want to become bartenders or people that already are bartenders and want to, improve, learn more, just talk about it. So I'm Vince.
Vano, how are you?
And we've been bartending a long time. We've been working together about 5 years, and we're not big. We're not big in the mixology type, making drinks out of bee wings and whatever, crushed flowers or whatever. But if you're into that, that's cool, And we're always into learning something new. So not that we're against that kind of thing, but that's not where this is headed. And we're not big flair bartenders, although I'll throw a bottle around a little bit, but not like crazy, not like Tom Cruise. But we're into making sure our guests have a good time, and that's key for us. Got anything to add?
Yeah, yes, sir. Well, I've been working with Vince for about 5 years, but prior to that, I worked in nightclubs, bars, catering halls, and I got started and went to bartending school, and I always used bartending as a second job, second income, and to me, bartending is the greatest second job you can have. It's a cheap way of being famous. It's great. People give you money, and they tip you, and they tell you you're great, and it's phenomenal. And like Vince was saying, I'm really not a flair bartender. I made a living. What makes me make money is off my personality, comedy, timing, and just customer satisfaction. Your customer comes to the bar, you make them a drink, her a drink, and you're nice, and that's how you make money. And we've been talking about kind of doing something like this. We're teaching people how to bartend because we're really good. Where people come up to us and ask, how can I learn to bartend? And it's really simple. So we're going to put this podcast out and teach you the inner games of bartending, drinks to learn, approaches to take, and you create your own path.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think what's cool about bartending, I think it's almost like your own little business there. Not that you own the business, but it's up to you to make the money, because you're there, you're working for tips. Let's face it, maybe you get shift pay or minimum wage, but you're there to make tips, and it's up to you to generate those tips. So how are you going to do that? Being fun, friendly, making sure that people have a good time. They're there to have fun. You should have fun too, and make them feel important. You talk about that a lot. When somebody gives you a good tip, you're like, yeah, make sure his friends see it, and what do you do? You shake the guy's hand.
Yeah,
what's your name?
Yeah, I mean, you've seen that, but just for the people out there listening, think about when you tip someone and they don't acknowledge you. And I this is something that drives me crazy. I live in New York, but being in the tri-state area, I can't tell you how many times I go out and I tip someone, they don't even acknowledge it.
Yeah.
And that, to me, you're just hurting yourself, because when I go out and you appreciate me tipping you, I'm going to tip you more, and you're hurting yourself. So no matter, especially the economy that we live right now, I rely on bartending to live. I have my main job, but bartending makes me able to live more comfortable. It gives me play money. And when someone comes up and tips me, whether it's $1 or 10 or 20, I thank them for it. And you get more money from that. I look them in the eye like Miyagi, always look in eye. I look them in the eye and thank them, because that's how you get more money. I appreciate that.
Think about what is somebody's motivation for tipping you, right? Yeah. Is it because they feel obligated? Well, maybe. Or is it because they want to feel good about themselves? They're not doing it so much for your benefit. You think about what people's motivations are, and you get far in life. It's like Dale Carnegie's book, the How to Win Friends and Influence People. He talks about that kind of stuff a lot.
Yeah.
What is the other person thinking? Why are they doing what they're doing? They're tipping to be acknowledged and look good in front of their friends, or look good in front of if maybe the bartender is a pretty girl, wants to look good in front of that bartender. If you're the pretty girl, or you're the good looking guy from if it's a female, the other way. So there's always a motivation behind what people do, and you think about that.
Right there, stop. To everyone that's listening, I want to piggyback off of what Vince just said. When someone tips, they want to be recognized. They're acknowledging you, but when you recognize them, you validate. So you win as the bartender, and they win. I learned that working in the clubs. Yeah. When guys came in, there was one guy that would always come with a different girl, and I would always make him like he was so important.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would walk
Good to
out of
see
there
you again.
$60 just in tips from this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're making him look good
I
in
make
front
him
of the
look.
girl.
I'm getting him laid.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
And he's giving me money, and
Right.
that's what it is. You acknowledge people. You never do. If someone's tipping me, and they tip very aggressively, I'm gonna know what they're drinking.
Yeah.
They're gonna come to the bar. I'm serving them first. There's no line. People need to realize that.
Yeah.
When I'm behind the bar, whoever tips me the best is who's gonna I'm gonna acknowledge.
Yeah.
Because this is the whole point of bartending is to make money.
Yeah. Well, this just to expand on that. This podcast could be for people who just like to hang out in bars and want to know more about it.
Sure,
But
yeah.
what's our motivation? Well,
Yeah.
like we just said, our motivation is tips. No two ways about it. That's why we show up there. So if you're at a crowded bar, you're at a nightclub, an open bar event, especially at a wedding or something, you want to be served first. Show some money. I would assume everybody knows this, but it doesn't seem to be the case. You hold a big bill in your hand. That's how you're gonna get served.
Sure.
If you're standing there with no money in your hand, the bartender is not. You may never get a drink if it's that busy.
Yeah, and I don't want. Listen, I know what it's like to be broke, and I'm not saying, but if you tip a bartender $1 or $2, that's great. But the point is, if you can learn to bartend, to the people out there. I can't tell you how many times have you been asked, how do I learn? You can learn. It's more of the inner game that makes people the bartender. It's not, anyone can memorize drinks and anybody can know how to pour and ring things up and know about vodka and how gin's made and blah, blah, blah. It's the personality. People go to bars, they want to forget, they want to relax, they want to numb out, and they want to feel good. And my thing is, we're on a little vacation. You come to the bar, I'm going to give you a drink, I'm going to make you laugh, you're going to tip me, I'm going to make that 15-minute break in your life enjoyable where you got to go back to the grind now.
Yeah, it's an escape from reality.
That's what it is. Yeah. And it's your moment, and you know what? We're going to take this ride together. And then that's it. And then it's enjoyable, and that's the art of the tip. That's how we make the money.
Yeah.
And people don't get that. And you can go to all these bartending schools for $1,000, and I'm not knocking it.
Yeah.
You need technique, folks. You need technique.
Yeah.
But you got to learn the inner game.
Yeah.
And I've been bartending over 10 years, and if you ask me if I consider myself a good bartender, I would say I'm average.
Mm-hmm.
All right?
There's more to learn. There's always more to learn. So, yeah, just to, before we can go on with this kind of stuff forever, but something cool that's going on in March is the Bar and Nightclub Show, and it's run by John Taffer, if you ever watched the Bar Rescue Show.
Badass.
Oh, man, and it's like 3 days of, liquor reps and the, they got everything, point of sale systems and all that, but there's parties, there's classes. I'm going to take a class on, and by the way, I started bartending. I don't want to give my age away, but it was a long time ago. And so I'm going to be taking classes, speed bartending class, man. That's awesome. And there's there's a class, how to make more money behind the bar. 10 ways, what does it say? 10 things to do behind the bar to make more money. So, and there's all this stuff. So anyway, this podcast, keep listening because I'm going to be bringing a little portable audio recorder with me and making reports that we're going to put out there in the podcast during the thing, and maybe even interviews with some of these liquor reps with their new products or whatever. They'll probably be happy to talk to us about it.
That's great.
So I'm real excited about it, and it's in Las Vegas. So and actually, I have 2 trips to Vegas planned. I'm leaving tomorrow for Vegas for a couple of days.
Shit.
My buddy called me up. He says, I got a big suite in Vegas. I'm going for business. Everything's paid for. He's like, what are you doing next week? I'm like, I don't know, but things are a little slow right now. He's like, come out to Vegas. I said, all right. So that was just, so I booked the trip in March, like on a Tuesday, and then like 3 days later, I booked another trip, and so yeah, tomorrow off to Vegas. So I'm gonna bring the recorder too, and he's actually not I'm getting there Saturday. He's getting there Sunday, so I have a day to kind of wander around on my own. So I'm gonna just check out some cool bars, bring that recorder with me, and just put my thoughts out there, and hopefully it'll be interesting.
That's kind of what I would bring up, that you've been bartending that long, and you still have the attitude where there's always room for improvement, and that's what gets you. That's what keeps you employed. You know what I mean? Like, there's no age discrimination in bartending. If you know how to tend bar, it's an art. I'm telling you, it's an art, and it's for me too. Like, what I do is I'll go on the internet and I'll find current popular drinks just to be well rounded and to build my arsenal in my mind of drinks. Because people trip out when they ask you, "Hey, how do you make a a bocce ball, or how do you, and you just you commit it to memory, and you work on your craft, and that's how you make the money.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's funny. A lot of those old time drinks are making a comeback, and I think there's a reason for that. They're classics, and they there's a reason they've been around for a long time. So yeah, Vano's had this stuff in his head for the longest time, and we started talking about it.
Yep.
And that one thing you said just resonated with me. He said there's an art to giving a tip, art to receiving a tip. And I said, man, that's deep, that makes a lot of sense. And then that one statement said, I think this would be an awesome idea for us to just sit around and talk about bartending. I think people learn from it. We'll learn from it. Hopefully we've got Twitter set up and emails. We'll give that to you later. And we'd love to hear from you guys. And we, like we said, we always have more to learn, always.
Yeah, and then what I'm stuttering Stanley over here, but my goal and what Vince's goal is if I can meet somebody that's saying, hey, you inspired me to bartend, or you got me on that path. I mean, I want to help people. Look at what we're in economically. People are broke.
Yeah.
And there's an opportunity where you can make a little. Not that you're going to be rich. I'm not overselling this, but you can have extra spending cash. That's what I'm saying. You put the time in, and it's time. It's not going to happen overnight. There's no secrets, but we're going to give you doors to open where you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We're going to give you doors. It's the inner game. It's the psychology of it. It's like I love martial arts, and you know what? So you got someone who's skilled, but it's kind of just relies on their skill. But you got somebody who's got heart, is not as good as that person. Eventually, that person will heart. And the hard work and determination will beat that person with skill. And that's what we're teaching you. Heart will get you far, and that's what it is in this. Expect to get fired. Both me and Vince have been fired plenty of times. You start out. That's the circle of the business. You got to learn. You got to walk on the edge. You got to walk on the ice, and that's what it comes down to. That's the secrets. We broke the drinks down of what to learn. You take it upon yourself to learn these drinks. The secrets of bartending school is they teach you to memorize the drink with acronyms. We're going to expose that. We're going to tell you to do this, and you got to commit these drinks to memory. And
there's certain categories of drink. We're not going to beat the drinks to death because you can learn that from a book. But,
that's up to you. You got to do it.
Yeah, but you have some great tips on how to memorize drinks, and but I think once you learn the different categories of drinks, like we got sours, right? And that's a lot of the drinks are combined in there. They talk about sours, but we got a list here. I'm looking at this.
I mean, we can start off with the simple.
Even like, so you got, let's say, highball drinks, right? That's Rosie the dog here making all that noise.
The mascot.
She likes to hang out in bars too. You got your highball drinks, which is, I would say 75% of the time you're making a drink, It's a highball drink, right? So what is a highball drink? It's in a highball glass, and it's got liquor and a mixer. So your Captain and Coke, your vodka and orange juice is a highball because it's it's served in a highball glass. It's got 2 ingredients, and that's it. So and the funny thing is, people are like, how do you remember all those drinks? I'm like, you know what? Most of the time, people walk up to you and give you the recipe.
Yeah.
Can I have a vodka and cranberry juice? By the way, don't call it cranberry vodka. I hate that. I hate that shit.
Cape Codler.
Well, you can call it Cape Cod, but what it's always vodka and orange juice, rum and Coke. When all of a sudden, it's always the liquor first and the mixer second. So when all of a sudden are we calling it cranberry and vodka? Where did that come from?
And exposing folks, it's not Coke, it's Pepsi.
Well, either way.
No, I mean what we use.
This one guy, he comes up to me one time. He goes, can I have a Coke? I said, well, I got Pepsi. He says, but I really want Coke. I said, well, I got Pepsi. That's all I got. He says, come on, you must have some Coke somewhere. I said, dude, I'll tell you what. I'll give you 2 glasses. If you can tell me which one is Coke, you can have Coke. But they're both going to be Pepsi because that's all I got.
Wow. Yeah.
So you gotta have fun. He laughed, and that's the thing. You always gotta have something up your sleeve. Always have something cool. Like if the room is kind of dull or whatever. Oh, like I was gonna show you my new shaker here. I'm gonna show you this. This is audio, so you're not gonna be able to see it. But so I tell people, girl comes up. I don't really know what I want to drink, and can you make me something special? I said, okay, I'll make you something special. and I'm gonna need a special tool for this. So I bring this out. It's a shaker in the shape of a suggestive shape.
My
we shall
God.
say. So so they usually laugh with that.
Yeah, the ladies like that one.
That's what our friend said she wanted for her birthday.
Yeah.
It wasn't somebody we work with. She wanted.
Oh shit! God. All right, but no, I think I mean the bottom line is you gotta know that we broke it down to what we think you need to know, and you're gonna have to take these drinks. We broke them down. We're gonna give them to you. It's up to you to go and research the drinks, write them on note cards, and just drill them in your head. And we'll just go right to the point. Simple drinks. Okay, there's 16 simple drinks. I mean, we broke them into categories. And first category is simple drinks. I'm gonna say it slow. Screwdriver, Cape Cod, which is vodka cranberry, Madras, Greyhound, Bay Breeze. Now, Bay Breeze can be made with vodka. Most likely, it's going to be with Malibu. You get the Malibu Bay Breeze, but it can be made with either Malibu or
Well, if somebody
vodka.
orders a Bay Breeze, it should really be made with vodka.
But and I know
lately, now you got to ask.
You have to ask. You got the Sea Breeze. You got vodka tonic. Could be gin tonic, but vodka tonic drinks. You got your vodka soda, vodka sour, which could be made with gin sour, amaretto sour. Your vodka Collins, Tom Collins, Joe Collins, John Collins.
What's Joe Collins?
Joe Collins is how Scotch.
Oh, okay.
So, and you remember, you could say Joe Smith for a Scotch, and those are the acronyms. You got Jack and Coke, like you said, self-explanatory. Captain Morgan and Coke.
Yeah.
You don't know. Helen Keller knows what that is. Seagram Sevens. You know what I mean? So these drinks, there's 16 drinks. You research them. You can go on webtender.com. You can go on the internet, take the drink, put it on a notebook, index card, put the name of the drink, turn on the back of it, and write the ingredients, what goes in it, the ounce. And we're going to cover the pouring after we're done. And you create with some drinks that are hard to remember. Create a acronym. That's what bartending schools do. Mm-hmm. That's how they teach you to remember the drinks.
Yeah.
So that's simple drinks, and then we have style drinks. What would you say with style drinks be? I mean, we broke them down.
Okay, you're talking about mojito, sex on the beach, fuzzy navel, kamikaze, margarita, and yeah, like I was saying earlier, a margarita is actually a sour if you think about it. It's got sour mix in it, liquor, and you shake it.
Mm-hmm.
Make it foamy. So to me, that's a sour. That's a sour drink. And if you remember it if you think of it that way, it helps me remember anyway.
Yeah.
Whatever it takes to help you memorize stuff. Bloody Mary, Cuba Libre.
And you know what? That's my bad. The Cuba Libre, basically that's a rum and Coke with a lime.
Right.
And you're going to get some jerk off that's going to come up to test you, but that's really what that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah. And mojito is a good drink. I like making it.
Involved to make, but
I enjoy it. As long as it's not so busy that you
need the ingredients.
Yeah, you need the ingredients.
Yeah, so that was the simple drinks, style drinks. Then this is what we call the multiple liquor drinks. You got the Long Island iced tea, you got your Alabama Slammer, you got your Red Devil. I mean, I've been bartending as far as multiple liquors. That's the three main drinks I get. Long Island kills it. And just so most people know, Long Island iced tea is 5 clear liquors. Most places won't serve that. I mean, if you pay for it, they will. But if you go to like a catering hall or whatever, usually you got to watch because some people have the pre-made bottle.
Oh,
it's really not pre-made. It's usually like 3 liquor.
Oh.
So as people are aware, but
I mean, you can pour. I pour just like a couple of drops each, and it adds up to like the same amount, really. If you're careful.
Well, it's you're that's a good point. Responsible pouring, but people don't realize a Long Island iced tea will knock you on your ass.
Depending on how it's made. I mean, I'm grabbing 2 bottles at once. You got it in your speed rack, which about.
Boom, boom,
you
boom,
got,
boom.
Sour mix. Like most people set up their speed rack, vodka, gin, rum, tequila, triple sec. So those, at least that's how I do it, and that's the 5 things that you need in your Long Island.
Yeah.
So it's like I pick up the 2 bottles, boom. I mean, it's a dash really, and then another dash with the next 2. Pick up the triple sec sour mix at the same time. Top it off with the Coke. You can make it real quick. It looks cool because you're grabbing bottles all over. You're grabbing bottles here and there, and people are impressed. And But I mean, I don't think I'm making it much stronger than a regular
Well,
rum and Coke.
I was taught. I mean, this is what's great. I mean, this is the perception.
we
Going to
learned stuff.
bartending school, you that was one of the things you were warned about, because that drink right there, it knocks you on your ass, and you gotta watch. But Long Island I see Alabama Slammer, Red Devil. That's those are the separate category, multiple liquor drinks. Always shake these drinks, and we'll touch on the little tidbits on each, but we just want to give you the meat and potatoes of drinks to write down. And what do you think, Nick?
Yeah, the milk drinks. Rosie, your tail is making a lot of noise, and I don't want that on my recording. Gotta be quiet. Wait, pause. Let's pause there a second. Okay, Rosie the dog's been removed from the room. We were talking about milk drinks, and most bartenders hate making these because they're messy, and you get that milk in your ice, forget about it. Yeah. Right? It ruins your ice. All the drinks come out cloudy after that. So I always be careful. I always get away from the ice, move away from the sink while I'm making the milk drinks. And so we got white Russian, sombrero, toasted almond. They're variations on the same thing, and you can look up the recipes for those. But yeah, we were talking about that one time.
Always have a separate shaker for milk drinks.
Or I just toss it back and forth between two glasses.
You could do that, but you never want to. I did that when I first started because you knew. Yeah. I used the same shaker to make I think it was a Cosmo, and it was a tough situation. But yeah, that's milk drinks, and then what I call high-end top shelf drinks, and these are this is really where you can make money, like on the Cosmos. Yeah. Cosmopolitan, cheesecake martini, apple martini, mimosa, and Bellini. And those are drinks, take time to know these. The art of it, chilling the martini glass with ice while you're doing it. These are like a lot of women love it, especially from the prior Sex to the City.
Yeah.
I mean, you get that. Then, the cheesecake, it kind of is having a resurgence. And the Bellini. I mean, you get the mimosa in the champagne flute glass.
When you talk about apple martinis, and I had this recently. Like the women's like, this drink's so strong. Can you make? I'm like, there's nothing but liquor in it. I don't know why women think a big, just because you put it in a martini glass, it's like that's like 3 shots of liquor in there. Nothing but no mixer. And some people don't realize that when they order it.
Yeah,
but they should.
Yeah, and then the last category is OG drinks, like the original gangster, old school drinks. The Godfather, Godmother, Rusty Nail, Black Russian, Bocce Ball, Gimlet, Old Fashioned. An Old Fashioned. On 4 interviews, this was the first drink I was asked to learn how to make was an Old Fashioned. Oh, yeah. Your Manhattan.
Those are making a comeback because of Mad Men.
Yep. Manhattan, Martini. These drinks can be made either on the rocks or in a martini glass. Well, except for the exception like Godfather, Godmother, Rusty Nail, Black Russian, you usually are in a rocks glass. But if a customer wants in a martini glass, you do that. Martini, this is where it gets tricky. I was raised to make a martini with gin, but in the last 5 years, people assume a martini is made with vodka, so you always want to ask vodka or gin. They can say martini, and you put gin, and they want vodka. So.
I know. Yeah, you got to ask now.
And just to, so those are we broke them into simple drinks, which are 16 drinks, style drinks, 11 drinks, the multiple liquor drinks, 3 drinks, milk drinks are 3 drinks, and the high-end top shelf are 5 drinks, and the OG original gangster drinks are 9, and just stuff like on sour drinks, you always want to shake sour drinks, and sour.
And what's the reason for that? I mean, I know the reason, but
you make it, shake it with the sour.
Make it foamy.
Yeah,
make it foamy.
They like down the head on the top, and then you garnish. All sours get garnished with the cherry and orange. Mm-hmm. Remember that, little things like that. So that's something you want to put on your note card. Sours garnished with a cherry and orange. I
went to a certain chain restaurant. I won't mention the name, but I ordered a vodka and tonic, and it comes with no lime. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Like, who makes? I literally said this to the waitress. I'm like, who makes a vodka and tonic with no lime in it? And she goes, oh, I guess she forgot. I don't know. And so she, and the restaurant's not that busy, So she's running around like with her head cut off. She got one other table. She finally comes back with a plate of limes. Of course, my drink's empty by now, She goes, "Oh, sorry. I guess your drink's empty. You need another one."
Yeah,
So,
I mean that's.
but I mean, I was shocked. I mean, who? Right? Wouldn't that shock you? Somebody serve a
It's
vodka?
like a birthday cake without candles.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
Totally.
You need the garnish. I mean, and that's so vodka tonic lime. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Anything with sour, you never shake anything with carbonation.
No.
You know what I mean? Don't ever, if you like a sour, you put the sour mix like for a Tom Collins, you put the gin, the sour mix, shake it, then you top it with club soda.
Yeah.
You know, never shake any carbonation. You know, and some people don't know that. You know, so I'm not trying to.
No, I know. It drives me crazy. I see that once in a while, people doing that. So yeah, we'll wrap this one up, and we'll come back at you again real soon with another podcast. Was there something else you wanted to say before we ended this one?
Yeah, really, just the drinks that we talked about. You know, memorize them. That's the first thing that you need to do, and then there's little things that you can add to it. But the first main thing is to memorize those drinks and what we talk about, the inner game, the personality, and take the ride with us. We'll definitely. You got a good attitude, you got heart. We'll make you a bartender, and you can reach me on Twitter at Vano, capital VANCE. Capital VANO.
And I'm on Twitter at Barkeep Tips. So it's BARKEEPTIPS. And I got a Gmail account set up. It's vince.bartender@gmail.com. So, we'd love to hear from you. If you got something to add, you got something to say, we'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, and sorry about that. I forgot. I also have a Gmail account as well, bartender2222@gmail.com.
So 4 2s, right?
Let's see.
Is it?
Yeah, 2222.
Okay. And, like I said, so keep listening and look for our next show. And we're going to have some cool stuff from Vegas, both my trip leaving tomorrow and the bar and nightclub trade show. That's going to be really cool.
Yep, and last but not least, I just want to say the only way to win is you can't be afraid to lose, so go out there and get that fucking money and do your thing. Support the show. Peace.